On January 1st of this year, we made a major announcement when we added Porsche as our newest partner. The first car we added to the sim was the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup, and at the same time we announced that we would be adding several more Porsches in the future. For the next Porsche, we wanted something special, something unique, something that hasn't been seen in a racing sim before, and something definitively Porsche. Today, that Porsche is here. So here we are in northern New Hampshire where we found the perfect diesel Porsche. It's a model P133 and we're super excited to be able to scan it today. That should take us about 8 hours or so. After that, we'll do photo reference and sound recording. Then we're back to the office to build this sucker. When we're done with this project, we'll have the most authentic tractor ever built. Take that, farming simulator. It'll take some time and a lot of company resources, but we can definitely say this Porsche will be ready to launch sometime in the future.
Welcome, race fans, to the NMNTS TN Designs Super Series off-season race here at Myrtle Speedway. And I am here alongside Brennan Elshoff. Brennan, thanks for coming up once more. We've been doing a lot of these races lately, you and I. And we had Sam Collins this past Friday night. And I'll tell you what, Brennan, we've got Myrtle Beach on hand. I know it's a brand new track to you, but I've raced here before in the NMNTS Truck Series, and I've raced here in a few other things. And this is one challenging track. You just go look down there at turns 1 and 2 and you see all those bumps that really cause an issue for drivers. You can't get too low, you can't use the apron in turns 1 and 2, and you know it causes some issues. You got to treat it kind of like an inside wall, but if you can master this place, it's a very fun place to race, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that so far. A lot of practice incidents here. Looks like they're all stemming from turns 1 and 2 for the most part.
Yeah, a lot will probably stem from turns 1 and 2, and of course just drivers being a little too ballsy, I guess, trying to get too much here in practice. These guys are currently in practice right now, and I'll bring up the results currently. So far, Michael Redding on top with an 18:43, and Devin Morgan back in the number 112 just about 400ths of a second off of Michael, but about a tenth back of the leader. Currently is Mike T. Bruno in the number 19. Then we have Aiden Young in the 9. Michael Bumgardner back in the number 97. Corey Walters back in the number 28 in 6th place. Kenneth Yantz in the 72 is 7th. Gabe Sommers is P8 in the number 15. Jared Beasley is in the number 10 tonight in the in the 9th position, sorry. And it looks like Malik Kuntz, I hope that's how we say it, or how you're supposed to say it, is currently in 10th spot here, Brendan.
Yeah, and I'm going to pick up after him is going to be Bradley Wilson. Oh, wow. Wow, I just murdered that. Bradley Wilson, he's getting mad at me about that. In 11th, followed by Adam Wooten in 12th. Matt Urban in 13th. Trevor Harmon going to be in 14th. 15th will go to Levi Poland. 16th to Derek Gulacki. I'm sorry if I'm murdering that one.
Gluchaki? That's a very interesting name. That's that's an interesting one.
He was 15th, we said?
He is 16th.
16th, excuse me. And we'll go to Brian Botlamy in 17th, followed by Terry Mason in 18th. 19th to go to Andrew Durham. And rounding out in 20th will be Clayton Kurtz.
And in the 21st spot so far is Max Porter in the number 80 car. Stephen McGough is 22nd with Gene Paul Arsenault following in behind him at 23rd. Karsten Cole is currently in 24th in the number 22 with John Dash in the number 16 and 25th. Jacob Bowman is currently 26th with Luke Clements in 27th. Magnum Tate in 28th. Cole Thomas in the number 91 is currently 29th. And Riley Gentry is currently your 30th place driver.
31st, we have Terry Bates, followed by Elaine Goodrow in 32nd. Jeff Olney in 33rd. 34th going to Chris Myrtle. 35th to Noah Wyatt. 36th to Christopher Meeks. 37th to Jake Watson. And our last guy to put down a time in 38th is going to be Caden Latevich at the moment.
And Caden Lapsevich, Jake Watson, those are a couple of fast guys on the short track scene. So if they have actually stuck around for the race, they should be a couple of guys to watch out for. I'm not sure if Jake Watson or Caden Lapsevich will actually stick around, but if they do, they're going to be a couple of guys to watch out for in the race. So currently we're watching the number 48 of Matt Urban out on track in practice, and we'll show off some of the camera angles here tonight. A lot of them are actually the stock Myrtle Beach camera angles. I was going to really go ham as far as the cameras, but honestly, I felt like a lot of these were fine, so we'll show some camera angles off here tonight. We'll start off with the nose camera on the front end of these cars, and these camera angles will be on every single car, these onboard cameras. Also on the rear bumper, as well as just to the right side of the driver in the cockpit. Shows a great view of what the driver actually has to work with here. Along with on the left door, and actually Matt Urban going around after contact with the wall. So we'll pick up on, I guess, the 28 of Corey Walters, who was just around him. Actually, Matt Urban's going right back out, so we'll stick with Matt Urban. We also have an onboard camera right on the right side of, not quite the dash. I'm not even sure what this part of the car is called, but it's in the cockpit nonetheless. And we've also got one looking right at the driver, along with one right in front of the right side of the rear spoiler. So a bunch of cameras to really show the action here tonight. But right now, I think we're going to go check and see if Michael Redding is on track. Currently, Michael Redding is not on track, so who do you see as the highest up that is?
I think it's going to go to Malik Kuntz. 3rd.
Alright, so that's the number 77. He's actually in the pits now, it looks like. Oh wait, no. Sorry, my camera was wrong. There we go, now he's on track. And he'll be in the number 77 tonight, so go ahead and take a moment to look through some of these paint schemes tonight, Brendan, and let me know on which one your favorite is. I think mine is already going to be made up. I actually made a hero card for this guy not too long ago. It's going to be Matt Urban in that number 48. I think it's probably my favorite out here. It's a very nice look, and it's actually modeled right after his real car.
Cool. Around. I think I have to go with either Terry Mason with the Pac-Man car, or I don't know. I'll go with Tim. I like that car last week as well.
Yeah, Terry Mason's been running that late model since the last time he and I decided to wreck each other here. It was just a random race we did with a bunch of the NMNTS guys one Friday night, and yeah, Terry and I just decided one night that we were going to take each other out as many times as we could. I think we ended up with about 80x at the end of probably 50 laps or something like that. So, good times. But a lot of good-looking cars out here, and actually we've got a big pack on screen. Oh, Matt Urban going around right behind these guys, but I believe we're going to run out most of these 20 minutes in in practice, sorry. So, we're going to take one more quick commercial break, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
In this cauldron of fiery wills and burning competition, rivalries heat up quicker. This is an oval of stolen victories and crushed dreams, filled with volumes of unfinished business. Sooner or later, you all become rivals. With everyone fighting over one finish line, there's never enough glory to go around.
Welcome back, race fans. We're still watching practice action here from Myrtle Beach Speedway, so we'll bring up the current results now for a moment. At least in the top 10, we've got Michael Redding still on point with Devin Morgan right where he was before, but Adam Wooten in the number 31, who stole the win at Sobo just a few days ago on Wednesday night. He is currently in third place with Jared Beasley in fourth. Malik Kuntz is currently in the 5th spot with Mike Bruno in 6th, Aiden Young in 7th, Michael Bumgardner currently in 8th, Corey Walters currently in 9th, and Kenneth Yance in 10th, Brennan.
Yeah. Then after Kenneth Yance, we're going to have Gabe Summers in 11th, followed by Bradley Wilson in 12th. Derek Gluchecki, is that how we determined it?
Sounds good enough to me.
He's going to be in 13th. We'll follow him with Brian Botlemy in 14th, followed by Matt Urban in 15th, Trevor Harmon in 16th, Levi Poland in 17th. Or did I already say that? I have an issue with these, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Levi Poland in 17th, Terry Mason at 18th.
Okay. Yep, Terry Mason in 18th, followed by Andrew Durham in 19th, Clayton Kurtz in 20th still.
And in the 21st spot is still Max Porter in the number 80, Stephen McGough in 22nd, I just said Gene earlier, didn't I? Jean-Paul Arsenal currently in 23rd, Karsten Cole in 24th, then John Dash in 25th, Jacob Bowman currently in 26th, Mark Johnson 27th, Luke Clements 28th, Magnum Tate 29th, Cole Thomas in 30th. In the 31st spot currently is Elaine Goodrow, Mark Broderick in 31st, Riley Gentry currently in 33rd, the 98 Terry Bates currently in 34th, and we actually have a few more drivers than before. I was just going to do up to 35th because I thought that's what you had, so sorry for taking your spot, Brendan, but
It's all good.
Jeff Olney in 35th, Chris Morrell in 36th, Noah Wyatt currently in 37th in the number 20 car, Christopher Meeks in the 32 is currently 38th, Jake Watson still in 39th, and Kaden Lapsevich in 40th. And that will complete the field this time. And we're going to take a few minutes, about 5 minutes, to just run a long crank it up bit here. So if you're a race fan, you'll probably enjoy this. We're just going to show you raw action here around the Myrtle Beach Speedway as these guys continue on with practice. Well, race fans, we were going to go to a crank it up session for a few more minutes. Unfortunately, the action kind of tampered down, and then we went into driver's meeting mode. So while the drivers have their driver's meeting, and that'll be led by Bradley Wilson tonight, real quick, as the ambassador for TN Designs here at PSI TV, basically, I'm going to go into exactly what the TN Designs Super Series will be. Basically, it's going to be kind of a throwback to the old Hooters Cup days. There will be a halfway break where you get to take tires. So races won't be very long. We're going to a lot of America's little short tracks all across the country, and each race winner will be getting a digital hero card, and we're going to give away some prizes at the end of the season as well. Those are still to be determined, but we can confirm that at least all the race winners in the actual points-paying season will be getting digital hero cards as a reward for winning each race. So it'll be a great season, I think, just going to a bunch of different short tracks all across the country. And, it's going to be action-packed. A lot of tempers probably going to flare at some points, but I think it's just going to be a great season, Brennan.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of the short track racing and the smaller, lower end line performance-wise, I guess you could say, for the leagues, a lot of times it's very competitive leagues, and you see a lot of times a lot of people get at each other's throats, but it should be a good league. It should be a fun season as well.
And I can also mention that we will have the TN Design Super Series here on PSI TV. There may be one race that we have to miss, and that may or may not be the season opener, just because I will actually be on vacation to Daytona to catch the Daytona 500. So we're going to try and work it out so that none of the racing action is missed, but it's a great possibility that we may miss some of it. We'll just have to wait and see, but we won't be missing tonight, that's for sure, and I'm not sure on how many laps we're going to have. Is it going to show us? It's not going to show us.
125,
So,
I believe.
Alright, so 125 laps. I don't think they're going to put the one tire change rule into effect here tonight. I think it's just going to be a matter of, pit when you want, since it's an off-season race. But we'll have to wait and see exactly what these guys choose to do. But as these guys just continue on with drivers meeting, Brennan, who's your early pick?
Tonight I'm gonna have to probably shoot out there and say I think Michael Redding has a good shot at it. He put down the quick time for tonight. Seems like he knows his way around the track for sure.
Well, I just brought up the top 5 graphic down on the bottom left of your screen. If I had to pick somebody out here tonight, Michael Redding, that's a great pick, of course. Adam Wooten, though, I think in my mind has got to be your favorite after winning South Boston. Myrtle Beach, South Boston, very different racetracks, but when you just consider the fact that it's heavy braking, tight quarters, and for the most part the same guys, the same level of competition, Adam Wooten spanked the field Wednesday night at South Boston, so I think it's a great possibility we see him end up taking this race win tonight.
Yeah, we'll see here how everybody qualifies out and see what type of action we'll have tonight. Hopefully some good long green flag runs and some good competitive racing.
Well, real quick, we're going to bring up a couple of guys that are in the NMNTS TeamSpeak. So we won't be getting a lot of the guys that aren't already in NMNTS. We won't be getting really any of those. We'll try and get them even if they're not in the TeamSpeak at the end of the race. But at least for the in-race interviews, we're going to only bring up the NMNTS guys because we're doing this from the NMNTS TeamSpeak. So we're going to welcome Mike Bruno up here in just a moment. Give him a second. Mike Bruno, this is Andrew Cardinale in the PSI TV booth. Do you have a copy?
10-4, bud. I got you.
Well, Mike, you're considered one of the favorites to win just about anything there is in the NMNTS in 2018 after a stellar 2017 season. But this might be a bit of a different kind of deal for you here tonight. Super late models at Myrtle Beach. So currently, we'll bring up your driver info here. You're currently 7th in practice. Do you think you have a chance?
Yeah, like you were saying, this is a whole new ball game here. These cars drive totally different than anything we did last season. But from the laps I did, I'm really liking them. I like how they get through the corner. I like the speed. I like it just about everything they do. So I think I got a chance if I can get up front and try and stay there. Just hoping that it isn't caution filled and we just have a good race here.
For sure. Well, Mike, real quick before we let you go so we can get some more of the NMNTS guys through here, since we've got, I think, still 6 minutes till qualifying, who makes it happen for you in that number 19 car?
SimSpec PC. Got to give a big shout out to them. I don't quite have their sponsor on my car yet, but go to simspec.com and grab yourself a nice computer there and get on here and race with us.
Sounds good, Mike. We'll let you get back up there. Actually, they just rolled over to qualifying, so yeah, definitely going to let you get back up there and check in with your team before you go out there and settle that.
Thanks a lot, Andrew.
And so that was Mike Bruno, who will be piloting the number 19 super late model here tonight at Myrtle Beach. We're going to let these guys have a chance to qualify. We can't exactly watch their qualifying times, unfortunately, but we can bring up the results as they come in. So we'll be watching these through the entirety of the qualifying session. And, Brendan, we'll have to wait and see. Michael Redding led that practice session, and we still got to wait a couple minutes for the results to really come in. But I think Michael Redding is a great pick. Adam Wooten, though, in my opinion, I think has what it takes.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see here. Also, I peeked in a little bit on the drivers meeting there, and it looks like they are going to try and do the one set of tires rule tonight. So they're going to put that into effect.
All right, so we'll have to watch for that. These guys then will only have one set of tires to change on the cars tonight, and those will be, I believe, allowed only at the halfway break. There will be cautions in between, but if memory serves me correctly, from racing with these guys with this format at Iowa, I believe you can only take the tires at the halfway break. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays into things. Currently, Derek Gluchacki, I hope that's how we're supposed to say it, is on pole in the number 03 car with a 1843. Mark Broderick currently in second. Actually, as I'm saying that, Matt Urban goes to the top spot. More times are rolling in now as Terry Mason to the 10th spot, Levi Poland to 9th, Mike Bruno 8th, Jared Beasley 7th, Stephen McGough currently in 6th, Kenneth Yonts in 5th, Corey Walters 4th, Mark Broderick in 3rd, Derek Gluchacki in 2nd, and Matt Urban currently still on pole in that number 48 car.
Yeah, it looks like neither of our picks have actually put a lap down yet, so let's see what they can do here.
If I had to make a secondary pick, I guess mine would probably be Matt Urban, since you already picked Michael Redding. I know he's definitely one of the fast guys on the short tracks, and I actually had a heck of a race with him in a totally different setting in the UMP Modifieds not too long ago at Volusia. Now Michael Redding has put a lap in. He goes to P5, so he's in that top 5 range, which is good, to say the least. You definitely want to be up there if you're going to want to win this race here tonight.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. For Matt Urban here, from his practice time to his qualifying time, he's actually shaved over 1/10 of a second off. I think that may have been the quickest lap of the night, even, I think. Yeah, I do believe so. Yeah, it's about 3/100ths of a second quicker than any other lap tonight. So.
Well, as we continue to play the waiting game here tonight at Myrtle Beach Speedway, we're just waiting for more results to roll in from the NMNTS TN Designs Super Series guys in their first official off-season race of the 2017-2018 off-season. These guys will be getting going in mid-February along with the SimSpec Championship Series, racing the NASCAR trucks, and the VA Graphics Cup Series on Tuesday nights, running the NASCAR Cup cars. So, I'm going to have a lot more races here throughout the winter. We won't have one next week, even if these guys are racing. I believe that's going to be Christmas Eve. So, that's not going to happen. I know Bradley won't be hosting one, and even if he was, we wouldn't be broadcasting it here. That's going to be a time for family. And actually, to that point, if you look across the top of your screen, I'm sure you've noticed the blinking Christmas lights. That's just there to be festive, so hopefully you guys like that. And if you have any other requests for festive little things to go up on the screen, we're going to have a couple more broadcasts this week, and we can try and do that.
Got about 10 seconds to the end of qualifying here, so this looks like this will probably be your grid here.
All right, as we roll over to the race session, we're going to take a look at your starting lineup. We're going to start off with pole sitter Matt Urban. If I can get to the number 48 car. If IRTVO decides to cooperate, there we go. And Brennan, I'll let you take it away with our top 10.
Alrighty, our leader's going to be Matt Urban, P1. Followed him to the outside is going to be Derek Luchecki, second. Row 2 is going to begin with Mark Broderick in third. His outside Corey Walters in fourth. Our third row is going to be Michael Redding on the inside, Kenneth Younts on the outside. Fourth row is going to go to Stephen McGow on the inside, Jared Beasley on the outside. Row 5 is going to be Mike Bruno on the inside, and to his outside is going to be Levi Poland.
And starting off in the 11th spot here tonight, it's going to be Terry Mason in the number 75 Pac-Man car. Adam Wooten to his outside will be starting off in the 12th position. In 13th on the inside of row number 7 will be Aiden Young in the number 9, with Trevor Harmon to his outside in the number 27. In the 15th spot will be Andrew Durham in the 21, and in the number 16 in P16 will be John Dash. In 17th spot will be Brian Botelemi. I don't know how to... I'll be honest. That's an interesting name, too. Brian Bottlemy? Okay, we'll move on. Gabe Summers in 18th in the number 15 car. And row number 10, we Mark Johnson in the number 4 with Cole Thomas to his outside in P20. And actually, that's going to be everyone that took a time. Jake Watson could line up in P21. We'll actually see if he's actually planning on lining up. He would be, like I said, in the 21st spot, I think. I have to wait and see.
He would have missed the start here, so we're already getting ready to roll. So.
All right, well, as the pace car rolls away, Matt Urban on your pole, like we mentioned, and we'll get the grid out of the way real quick. A lot of guys, like you can see here, that did not put a qualifying time in that may still race, but Matt Urban, I think, is going to steal the show, at least for the first few laps. So we'll go to his onboard on the start, and I think we'll go ahead and start off with the camera on top of the car. Chris Spivey out in the chat saying Zombie Santa. I don't think that one's going to happen. The number 40. Who's in the number 40? It's going to be... I can find him. Do you have a visual on the 40 car?
I don't know if we have a 40 car. It doesn't look like it.
Alright, well, we're getting ready to go green here. Pace car is in, and from this point on, these guys have to wait for the green flag before they can go. We saw the 03 try and fire away already. Matt Urban has to wait for the green flag to come out before he can launch. Should be coming out any time. There it is. The green flag is out. These guys can launch and get going here from Myrtle Beach Speedway. Off into turn 1, Matt Urban still has the lead, trying to battle off the number 03, and actually the 03 is going to pull away out of turn 2 here, Brennan.
Yeah. Still side by side a little bit behind him. He's starting to make a lead, though.
Yeah, the number 03, sorry, the name, Derek Gluchacki. A lot of new guys, so it'll take us a moment to get used to exactly who we've got. And actually, yeah, the number 40, Mark Broderick, he can fly as well. He's going to be one to watch. But currently out front, that number 03 of Derek Gluchacki, I hope we're saying that right, already off to the races, really pulling away. We didn't see him do a whole lot in practice, but he was able to qualify second, got the lead before we even got to the line. He just, well, I shouldn't say that, but out of turn 2, definitely he pulled away and just gapped that number 48 of Matt Urban, and he is pulling away, Brennan, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, he's a man on a mission right now. He's really getting a gap. He's just about 2 car lengths now.
Yeah, and what I like about his car, actually, is it shows it's got a white white tape along the bottom of the front end, of the nose. And so that really shows you just how high the front end travels up down the straightaways and then comes back down under braking through the corners. It's just really good visual there.
Yeah. A little bit further behind him, another group is starting to pull away. That would be Matt Urban and Mark Broderick. Like you said, 40 and Mark Broderick, he's definitely got some speed here.
Yeah, it's kind of a three-car breakaway right now. I consider these guys kind of under a blanket still, even though the number 03 of Glushaki's starting to pull away. Matt Urban is still right there. If something happens to the 03, that number 48 is going to be on top of him. The number 40 following in suit of Mark Broderick. But then you get back to these guys a little ways back, starting off in 4th place with what looks like Corey Walters, number 28. And he's leading these guys around. He's got a couple of MR Motorsports teammates with him. That's going to be Michael Redding and Jared Beasley. Actually, Corey Walters slips up there, but after that, it kind of, there's another gap all the way back to, it looks like, 7th place Levi Poland.
Yeah, that one just developing within the last couple laps here. They're starting to pull away. Levi Poland and Kenneth Yance battling it out up there for 7th, like you said.
And it looks like now Mike Bruno's going to go on the offensive with Kenneth Yance, and Kenneth is going to have to go into the defense. But actually, Mike Bruno in the fence down the straightaway. That's going to give way to the number 31 of Adam Wooten to get into that spot. So now Adam Wooten going to take over, it looks like, the 10th spot from Mike Bruno. So we'll actually go on board with Adam Wooten as he now gets to the inside of Kenneth Yance. We'll hit up his onboard camera. I know someone out there was saying they wanted to see the onboard camera so you can see exactly how these guys go fast. We'll also go to the visor camera for these guys. This number 31 looking very, very good so far tonight.
Yeah, definitely. He's making up some ground. If we look a little bit towards the front of the field here, we actually have Mark Broderick. He's actually in the outside wall now, but he had lost a lot of pace to the leaders.
Yeah, and we see him losing spots. Mark Broderick, like you said, just in that fence. Once you get into the wall here once, it's going to be very easy to get in the wall again. And we see him in the wall again. That number 40 is just going to be very hard to drive from here on out. It's hard to get off the wall in the first place, and then hard to continue on once you already have that damage, because it's just not going to turn right. The right front, is going to be knocked way out of where it should be.
Yance got spun around by the 27 of Kevin Harmon, or Trevor Harmon.
We'll take a look at that. You said it was Kenneth Yance, right?
Yeah, Kenneth Yance and Trevor Harmon. And 16, John Dash may have been involved as well.
So Kenneth Yance, we'll have to check in on what happens with him and Trevor Harmon here. And we did see some Temper Slayer at Gateway on Thursday night with another driver and Trevor Harmon. That other driver isn't in the field tonight, but that'd be Robbie Buckner. And I know he won't shy away from it, but it looks like maybe Trevor Harmon with another driver that, may end up seeing Temper's Flare later on. I think he just got into Kenneth just a little bit, and 16 had nowhere to go as Kenneth tried to lock it down so that he wouldn't spin off into the inside wall, so that's why he ended up getting clobbered coming out of turn 2, but we'll watch that this time from the number 27's on board.
Don't think we're going to have that halfway pit stop rule like you said. It looks like a lot of people down pit road already. They're taking tires.
Well, they can pit, but they can't take tires. So if they're already taking tires, that means they may have waived it. Bradley may have just been listing it off as one of the rules for next season. But here we go. The replay out of turn 4. And I think, Trevor just got in the gas a little before Kenneth did. And it got into him. I don't think it was anything with any kind of malicious intent. I think it just ended up being a product of the close racing. But now Trevor Harmon down the pit lane. And he will give up the second position as Bradley Wilson will actually stay out with Michael Redding. And it looks like Andrew Durham to complete your top 3. So we saw Bradley Wilson take home Thursday night here in the NMNTS series, and they were doing an off-season race just like this one, but in the trucks at Gateway Motorsport Park, and he won it pretty fair and square. He just had the best truck there at the end of the race and drove the wheels off of it to win over Aiden Young, who is in the field again tonight, but Bradley Wilson already looking pretty good if he's able to hold this off on these old tires in second spot.
Actually, we had number 9, Aiden Young, stopped at turn 3. I don't know if he's having an issue or what's going on there.
We'll check in on Aiden Young. He may have had a speeding penalty, but actually no, he's back in the pits. We'll see exactly what happens to him here. He just stops.
Maybe he had a connection issue or something. I don't know.
He may have blown the motor. No, it doesn't look like it. I was thinking maybe he could have blown the motor when maybe he hit the inside curbing there in turns 1 and 2, but he just slows down and comes to a stop in turn 3, like you said. Not sure what that's all about for Aiden Young. Back up to the lead, Michael Redding getting ready in about a lap's time to take the green flag, and Bradley Wilson will be on his outside. And we saw on that first start of the race, in number 03, Derek Luchacki was able to take the lead right away from Matt Urban, starting from the outside. So it'll be interesting to see if Bradley Wilson can do that same thing here on this restart. It's going to be hard, though, because Michael Redding will have the freedom to start this race whenever he feels after the leader, or sorry, not the leader, he is the leader, after the pace car peels off into the pits.
Yeah, definitely. That your first restart's your best chance of getting the lead up front, I'd say. After that, it's a really tough game.
And as we get ready for these guys to restart, we'll switch cameras to one that I think will be good for the restart. We're waiting on the green flag here, and Mike Redding throttles up, immediately goes to the outside, and I may not have violated the rule, but there is a rule in the NMNTS. I'm not sure if it'll be enforced tonight, but there is a rule in the NMNTS Racing Series that if you change lanes before the line, just like in NASCAR, you get a black flag. So we'll see if he actually gets a penalty here, if he just gets a warning, or what exactly happens. Considering it's an off-season race, we may not see anything of it. But for now, it looks like Derek Luchacki right back to what he was doing in that first little stint, and 48 Matt Urban around out of turn 2. And Kenneth Yacht's now in the fence as well. So caution is out. That was the number 48 of Matt Urban. We'll get a look at what happened to him there as he went for a spin out of turn 2, and looks like Jared Beasley just clobbered him out of turn 2.
Yeah, he had to check up for the car ahead of him here, the 21, and Beasley just didn't stop in time or check up enough.
So we'll watch exactly what happens here now. And Matt Urban was trying to go to the inside of the number 21, didn't get his nose there, and the 21 actually slips up, and the 10 just never had a chance to slow down at all, and just pounded right into the back end of the 48, spun the 48 around. But what happened to the 72 of Kenneth Yachts? And actually, Kenneth has a lot of damage to his left front now.
Yeah. He was battling Mark Broderick. Oh, the force sent him around. He gave him a little touch from that would be Mark Johnson.
So we'll see what happens to the 72 here this time. I could definitely believe that the number 4 got into him, since the 4 is right behind him, but we'll take a look at what happens here in just a moment. They're coming around turn 4 now and into turn 1. And keep in mind, the wreck is happening ahead of Kenneth Yachts here, down on the inside, so Kenneth is going to check up. And the Ford just never does, right into the back of Kenneth and sends him into the inside wall. It's going to hurt Kenneth's car quite a bit, hitting like that, but the good news is it shouldn't hurt the cooling of the car too much. He should still be able to have a functioning radiator in the car. I wouldn't imagine that it would damage that too critically.
Yeah, and I don't, do you know the fast repair situation tonight, or is there one, or are we?
I'm not sure, but since you can actually check it, you can hit the info tab and it should tell you.
Fast repair limit is 1, which he may have already opted to take since he was already in that.
Kenneth Yachts did not actually, but somebody just blew up. Someone just lost a motor, and I don't know who it was. Not sure who it was, but someone lost a motor for sure.
Yeah, I heard it as well. I don't,
Well,
anybody trailing smoke or
since we can't find it, we'll just go right back to the leader, Michael Redding. If he's still leading at the next caution, we'll go ahead and bring him up. But they are about to go green, and Derek Luchacki, I think, has one of the fastest cars out here tonight. He was right back to go fast mode right before we got that last caution. And Levi Poland also starting to make headway in that number 39 car. As these guys round turns 3 and 4 once again, they'll be getting ready for the restart. It's lap 26 of 125, and Michael Redding is off and away. Derek Luchacki is sleeping on the restart, but he's still right there with the number 2 car. So Michael Redding will take that lap. He's got the number 03 cleared by a mile, but Derek Luchacki right on his bumper, and this is going to be a battle to watch here. He's getting to the outside of Michael, now trying to find a way around him down the back straightaway. He's going to try the outside. No, he's not. He's going to try the bumper. He gets to the back of Michael Redding, gives him a shot through turns 3 and 4. Doesn't move him just yet. Now he's going to go to the inside. He's going to try to get to the inside of the number 2. I think there may have been some contact that time out of turn 2. Derek Luchacki still trying to find a way around this number 2 car, Michael Redding. And I tell you what, Michael Redding is one of the hardest to pass, and if you hit him, he will definitely hit you back.
yeah, he's definitely, he knows when he's got the line and he will not give it up for sure.
And we see some more defensive driving out of the number 2 car, Michael Redding, but Derek Luchacki still working on a way to get around him. And now Levi Poland's going to have to be real patient here. He's going to have to let these guys battle it out and maybe see if one of them ends up wrecking or causing something here that opens up the door for Levi. But he's just going to have to cut his losses right now, not really get into this just yet, and wait for something to happen. Now Derek Luchacki down to the inside. He's going to get his nose there, and he ends up making contact, and around goes the 2 car.
And able to keep it going though, so we're going to stick green here.
And that's not going to go well with the number 2 at all.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
Or it was not Levi. It is Levi Poland, excuse me.
So Michael Redding
Sitting to the
saves
outside
it,
wall.
then smashes the wall after the caution. He's not going to be happy with that, but as you said there, Brennan, the 39 around, and looks like he has quite a bit of damage to that number 39 car.
Yeah, he going into the incident had some rear end damage, but definitely gained some more there. Actually ended up getting tagged by someone else to catch the number there.
We'll be watching as he was following this battle between Derek Luchacki and the number 2 of Michael Redding. And we see them getting into each other. He has to go high and slow down for the number 2, and we'll see what happens to him into turn 3. It looks like he just tags the wall, and you know that just sucks you right into it. And Bradley Wilson tags him as he goes by.
Yeah.
But the way the wall here is down the back straightaway at Myrtle Beach, it's actually angled into the track. So the top of it's almost like camber on the wall. The top of the wall down the back straightaway is actually tilted further to the inside of the track than the bottom of the wall. So that's why you get stuck on it so easily, like we saw there from Levi Poland. And we'll check in now on the 11 car. We saw him get some damage, and that'll be Bradley Wilson in the number 11 Ream Toyota Camry, and he does have some right front damage, to say the least.
Yeah, I don't know if he quite saw it coming or what, but he definitely ended up tagging him, unfortunately, on that coming around the wreck.
Yeah, and you know, I'm sure quite a bit of that was existing from probably hitting the wall at some point or another, especially out of turn 4. These cars get pretty tight out of that corner, but he's definitely got quite a bit more damage. Most of that right front tire now is actually exposed and out of the fender, and that's not optimal for racing at all.
Yeah. That may have been pre-existing. I went back and watched the replay there, and it looked like he didn't catch him till the rear quarter panels where they actually made contact. So,
all right. So yeah, that probably was a bit of netcode then, rather than contact. So for our viewers who maybe haven't heard my spiel about netcode before, essentially netcode is basically an impurity in the connection here on iRacing. iRacing basically standing for Internet Racing. And so every once in a while there'll be, this glitch kind of, in a way where basically the simulator registers two cars, maybe not quite where they are on everyone's screen. So sometimes there's contact without two cars looking like they actually make contact, and that's what we call netcode on the simulator. But back up to the lead battle here. I think these guys are about to line up and go green, and that they are. So I wanted to leave Michael Redding alone this time just because I'm sure he's going to be hot with this battle with Derek Gluchakis. So we'll have to see what happens. And I think the 03 actually, in addition to getting into the left side of the number 2 car, did catch one of the bumps down there on the apron in turns 1 and 2 when they had that moment there. So he's got some left front damage. I don't think it'll hurt that car too bad, but we'll see what happens here on this restart, Brennan.
Yeah, sorry about that. They're going to come around turn 4 here, and it looks like off to a great lead there.
And now that's one that the admin's actually going to have to look at because, again, there's that rule where you can't come all the way to the top side from the bottom, and Derek Gluchakis did just that. Considering he's not an NMNTS regular, they may let it go with a warning, but normally that would be a penalty.
Yeah, you can only, your rule book, you can only do so much, obviously. These guys are just joining in, not really having a clue how you guys run your races. So I think they may have waved it off.
No, he got the black flag.
Black flag.
He got the black flag, so he will have to come in and serve that penalty. Derek Gluchakis now going to lose that lead.
Yeah, you got Michael Redding now in the lead again.
So he is serving the penalty of the 03 car. We'll watch him as he comes through. That's going to be huge for this race because he was the fastest car out there all night so far.
Yeah, he at times had a commanding lead there.
And as the field's actually going to come around behind him, he's going to have to try and get going before they get to him. And he will with the caution.
Yeah, Trevor Harmon and the 31 Adam Luton made contact in turn 2 there.
So
actually, it's a big pileup. Kenneth Yance, Aiden Young, Terry Mason all involved.
Now that's the perfect break then for Derek Gluchakis. We'll watch this wreck here between Adam Luton and Trevor Harmon, like you said. There's a bunch of action going on. Adam Luton was just going to the inside of the 48, and there wasn't the room to do that. The 27 had nowhere to go but into the back of the 31, and you said there was the pileup also involving guys like Terry Mason, and there is a huge wreck further along in the corner. It looks like there's going to be a couple of blown motors, most notably on the 75.
Yeah. Tough break for those guys. They're just trying to avoid it. Looks like I don't know the number on that guy.
Looks like it was the 53 that got sent around by contact from the 31, and that just collected other drivers. We'll get the slow-mo as well on that one. So we'll watch this replay once more. See exactly what happens here. And yeah, you see the wrecking 27 and 31 up ahead. The 53 has nowhere to go. Ends up catching the front end of the 31. Kenneth Yance barely misses it. And you see the rest unfold in front of you there. And that's going to take a toll on a few cars here. Aiden Young was trying to get by and had to come to a complete stop as Terry Mason was rolling back down the track. That's going to be an expired motor on both the 75 and I believe the 53 as well. I think everyone else will drive away with just cosmetic damage. Probably some motor damage as well, but nothing that's going to be terminal.
Yeah, definitely. I think both of them, two had not used their fast repairs yet, so I think they still have a chance to be in this. Yeah,
and Terry Mason is back out on the track. We'll now look for the 53 car. It's going to be Brian Butlemi. I hope that's how you're supposed to say it. And now that we have this break here, we're going to bring a driver in for an interview. Michael Redding, this is Andrew Cardinale in the PSI TV booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Michael, we saw a whole bunch of action around your number 2 car just a little while ago. Real quick, can you give us your side of all that?
I'm not sure what happened there. Looked like he just kind of overdrove the corner. Maybe I come down on him. I don't know, hard to say. I wasn't very happy about it, but it is what it is. A short track racing. Go out here and try to get this win.
All right, well, Michael, you're looking real good out there in your number 2 car tonight. Real quick, before we watch the rest of these, I believe we have 80 laps to go. Who makes it happen for you in that number 2 car?
Myself.
All right, well, sounds good. May as well put Michael Redding on on the hood and doors then as the sponsor. So,
Oh yeah. Sponsors BA Graphics and Rock Art Powder Coating.
all right, well, best luck to you for the rest of this race. Looks like we're gonna have about 78 laps to go when you guys get the green, and yeah, just best luck to you. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
And that was Michael Redding in the number 2 car from, I think it's Evil Outlaw Motorsports now. I'll have to check on that in a little while, but I believe they're coming around to the restart.
Yeah, we're in turn 4 right now. Getting ready to go green.
Green flag.
Michael
green
Redding
flag.
off and away. Jared Beasley caught sleeping. Corey Walters also in that bit of a team, and they're going to go off into turn 1. Actually, the number 21 is going to go right around Corey Walters like he's standing still, but now Corey Walters trying to get a run. Mike Bruno also going to get into this battle here for third
Oh, we
place.
have 21 around.
All right, man.
And
Caution
then
is out.
19's
Caution is
involved,
out.
31, 91, Big Rick, 11, Bradley Wilson's involved.
Yeah, there's a pile up there, I think, with the 11 and another car still. And that was the 16 of John Dash, and that's going to be a big one right there.
Definitely. Like,
This all
it's
starts with the
21 in the wall,
21.
yeah.
Yeah, it all starts with 21. He got the wall, slows up, and we'll get another look at that. That wasn't a very good look at that at all. We'll have to take a replay on that. That was the 21 car, Andrew Durham. So we'll go ahead and watch this in half speed as he was battling here with Corey Walters. And Andrew Durham, you'll see, ends up slowing a little bit out of turn 2. That's what allows the 28 to get alongside him. And then he ends up getting the wall on his own and right into the 19. He just gets slowed down. And then there's going to be cars piling in from behind. You see Adam Wooten going to get a piece of it. Bradley Wilson going to get a piece of it. John Dash, Matt Urban. A number of drivers getting a piece of that one.
Yeah, it looked like Mark Broderick and Aiden Young were the first guys out of that backpack there that actually did not receive any damage. Just about everybody ended up getting a little bit.
Yeah, that was certainly a pretty big one right there. We'll get some more replays here. As we watch Bradley Wilson, he was kind of mid-pack on this restart, kind of in the mess, I'd say, with Matt Urban and John Dash ahead of him. We'll see exactly what he gets to try and get through. And, you know, he almost got through it, and then John Dash was trying to come back down the track and get back into the racing line and ends up collecting the number 11 car. And that's kind of what causes the secondary incident. But there was also a bit of that happening with the number 19 car. We saw Mike Bruno, you know, he ended up piling into that number 21 as the number 21 was slowing down. And so he actually, I think, got tagged from the 48. There was that secondary incident. And I think that was really about it. The number 11, number 16 getting collected. Aside from that, there wasn't really much of anything else in that wreck, though.
Yeah, it's an issue, unfortunately, with tighter short tracks like this. You get everybody fighting for the same spot to get through, so it sometimes creates a lot more congestion and secondary accidents like we had happen there.
Well, Brennan, these guys still have 70-some laps to go. We're only to lap 52 now of 125, so we've still got a ways to go, and let's check the race summary so far tonight. Currently, we've run 51 laps. We're on lap 52 now of 125. We've had 5 lead changes and 5 cautions currently for 25 laps, and these guys are actually about to go back green. So as these guys get ready to go green once more, Michael Redding is on point here with Jared Beasley to his outside, Corey Walters behind him in third place. And as they round turn 4, Michael Redding back on the loud pedal will get the advantage once again over Jared Beasley and Corey Walters. Corey Walters looking for daylight underneath that number 10 car. He's actually not going to find it. He's going to let Jared Beasley back in line. Now Matt Urban going to try and challenge the number 28 of Corey Walters for third place. He isn't there just yet, but the number 4 making a ballsy move down into turn 1 there, Brennan. And 3 wide behind him, and the 4's involved.
Contact, yeah.
They're somehow going to make it through so far, but man, that was a heck of a pileup there almost out of turn 2. It was a pileup that kept moving somehow. These guys all keep it straight, and they're going to keep rolling. Mike Bruno right in the middle of this.
We have 91 on the outside wall. He's going to go around.
And that's going to be a huge wreck.
Yep. 91 just had the high line there, and so I didn't see who it was. Just ran him out of racetrack there.
Well, the 53 is going to be done for the night. That's going to be his second blown motor with just one faster pair. So, unfortunately, the 53 will be done for the night. But we'll get a look back at what happens in just a moment. That's going to be
39
out of Carolina in the 53 that won't have another faster pair. So he's done. Let's get a look back at that wreck.
The 39 of Levi Bullen there, I think. He just ran the 91 of out of racetrack of Cole Thomas there.
Yeah, that's definitely what happens. We're watching the slow-mo, and actually it's kind of killing the screen, but yeah, 91, just gets shoved up into the wall, and actually Bradley Wilson's going to catch another piece of it as the 53 was spinning to the inside. John Dash was lucky that the 91 was actually having a connection problem, that he didn't hit him. And that's going to be it for these guys. It looks like the number 91, actually he may have a chance to get back in it, but that's going to be Cole Thomas pretty much done for the next little while. We'll watch this once more, this time in full speed. And so a couple of vicious hits for these guys, but they'll both lose a motor. I don't know if the 91 actually has a faster pair left or not. And actually he did, so he'll continue on, but the 53 will be done for the night, unfortunately. And we're going to check in with one Bradley Wilson. Actually, we can't. He's not up in the main room, so I don't want to bother him. Looks like maybe he's down there for a reason.
So we'll rough night on.
Yeah, we'll let him be for now. We'll try and get a talk to him at some point tonight, though. And we're going to be getting ready for a restart here, though, Brennan.
The lights still on? Maybe they are. It looks like we may have them.
They are, so we're actually going to try and get an interview then with second place runner Jared Beasley. Jared Beasley, this is Andrew Cardinale in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, real quick, I think you guys are coming to 1 to green in a moment, but just how is that number 10 car feeling for you tonight?
She's running pretty smooth right now. Just trying to get around this 2 car.
Well, you're certainly looking pretty strong out there, looking like you at least have a top 3 car. Do you think you have a shot at your team owner, Michael Redding?
I could possibly get him. I'm waiting for some new tires. It's still a little bit early in the race right now. But if I can get around him, he might mess up, he might not. He's very consistent still. But hopefully we can.
All right, we'll let you go now as you guys come to restart.
All right.
And that was Jared Beasley in the number 10 as Michael Redding gets off and away for the restart. He's actually, I hope we didn't play a part in Jared's restart there, but he does fall back a little bit. He's going to hang on to second place so far, trying to battle with Corey Walters, and he'll keep the spot over Corey for now. And looks like Matt Urban there, though, is going to try and spoil this party.
He's going to have to deal with Corey Walters, though. Actually, they're going to go 3 wide into turn 1 there. Holy cow.
Yeah, the number 03 back to being aggressive. He's back in the top 5, and actually, yeah, the 19 and 31 involved in wreck again in the back.
The 31 able to keep it going. The 19 towards the inside wall there.
Yeah, tough break there for Adam Wooten to get involved in another little bit of a scrum up, but I think the biggest one in here, you had front end damage, and now Mike Bruno is going to have a ton of damage, I believe, as he's going to get into the fence on the inside. That was a heck of a save, though, from Adam Wooten.
Up front, we had a big dodge for pit lane there. Jared Beasley got stuck. He's actually in pit lane. Michael Redding all the way almost down to the cone before he left. Beasley's actually going to elect to take tires here, and that he actually is in the pit lane.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that save there from Adam Wooten, but that was a heck of a piece of driving. We're going to take one more look back at this time from the onboard of Mike Bruno. get Mike Bruno there and watch the onboard if we can find it. There it is. And yeah, these guys were in one heck of a battle, and he's just going to end up, I believe, at a turn 2, just kind of trying to run his line, and I think the 31, Adam Wooten, was expecting to go a little bit higher out of turn 2, and they just made contact, and the 19 there of Bruno went around. So we'll watch this, like I said, from his on board out of turn 2, just gets hit, and right around, I think he was able to lock it down before doing too much damage to his car on the inside wall, but still pretty big, significant impact to that inside wall.
Want to do a replay of that or not for Michael Redding on how he duked out Jared Beasley that are going into the pits. About to make it.
So under this caution period, we're going to take a moment to get an interview with another driver. This is going to be Corey Walters this time. Corey Walters, this is Andrew Cardinale in the PSI TV booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, buddy, I got you.
Well, Corey, you're looking to have a pretty good night so far in that number 28 Texaco Haviland Dodge. How's it going for you tonight? Do you think you have a chance at Michael Redding?
I'm just being patient right now. I'm not trying to run anybody over. Been racing with Redding for 2 years now. You know, we're just out here having fun. It'd be nice to get the win, but I'm not going to wreck anybody to do it. And Michael's a hell of a racer, so we'll see how it pans out in the end.
All right, well, real quick before we let you go, who makes it happen for you in that number 28 car?
Currently, Gunslinger Motorsports makes it happen for us, but we're a new team. We're just out here looking to you know, get some wins, get some top 5s, see what happens. I don't know.
All right.
I don't really know what to say right now. I can barely hear you.
All right, well, best of luck to you on this restart here. We'll let you get back up there before you get going. That was Corey Walters in the 28. Interviews are kind of hard to do here because, you know, you get the replays out of the way as Michael Redding gets back to the green flag here. But you get that interview out of you get the replay out of the way of the previous caution, and then, you know, there's just so little time to get an interview. Adam Wooten into the left side, I believe, of Corey Walters there, actually, as I was talking. But, man, Brandon, it's tough to fit these in.
Yeah.
So currently your top 3 is going to be Michael Redding, Derek Luchacki back into second place, and Corey Walters, and this is going to be a battle to watch. Derek Luchacki back to the back end of the number 2. This is going to be exciting, I think.
Yeah. Right now, to look out for Adam Wooten, the amount of damage he has in that car, and he's able to keep pace. That's really amazing.
Derek Luchacki trying to work the top side of the racetrack here at Myrtle Beach. It's tough to do with how flat this place is. And he's down to the inside here. Michael Redding outbreaks Derek Luchacki. Derek actually gave him the spot into turn 3 in that number 03 car, but he got right up to Redding and was going to try and make the move, but ended up backing out of it. Didn't see the worth in the move at that time, so he's going to keep working up to that number 2 car once again. I think he's got the best race car here out of anyone. Derek Luchacki still working to try and get to that number 2 car. We saw him try and use the top side. Now, just keep in mind, Michael Redding is on pretty old tires. I'm not sure when he last pitted, but it's been quite a while. I don't think he's pitted at all, actually. So, you know, we're going to have to wait and see exactly how this battle pans out. Derek Luchacki trying to get to the bottom side. Michael Redding throws the block, and Derek for now is going to take that. He's not going to try the move just yet, but with a lot of short track racers, they just won't take that for very long, so that's something Michael Redding's going to have to keep in mind.
Jared Beasley slowly starting to make his way back through the field. He got stuck having to go into the pits there. Definitely going to take advantage of those new tires, though. Actually make a little bit of contact.
And Derek Luchacki still trying to work up and by that number 2 car. He almost had a run that time, but he got a little bit loose out of turn 4, and he is relentless. He's trying to find a way around him. He's trying to hold off Corey Walters at the same time, and that's not going to be easy. Both of these guys that he's battling are pretty good on short tracks, and obviously Michael Redding has led so far over 50 laps of this race, 57 now, as they come by the line. So it's going to be tough to try and beat that number 2 car. He might have it here though. He's got the line down into turn 3. Derek Luchacki gonna probably work by that number 2. He's up to his door and then lets off, gives Michael Redding the space he needs. So Michael Redding will hold on to that lead for now. I think he wants to tread lightly, considering he got into the number 2 earlier. Doesn't want a repeat of that move and doesn't want any kind of repercussions to come out of it. Doesn't want to flare any tempers. So great driving here from both of these guys, and very respectful moves here from Derek Luchacki, trying to work by that number 2 car. That time he got back down inside of Michael. They almost touched out of turn 2, but that 03 being very, very careful of the left side of the number 2 car. They made contact earlier on, and he's being careful this time. He doesn't want to get up into Michael Redding. Michael Redding, definitely not the guy you want to mess with out here. So Derek Luchacki treading lightly, but making headway. He's almost got the spot here. Michael Redding fighting back on the outside. Now this is going to open up room here, though, for Corey Walters here, Brennan.
He's catching up to him here. Definitely
And
right
this is also bringing, this is also bringing Matt Urban into the battle, and soon enough, Bradley Wilson's going to be into this. And a caution out in the back. Oh,
yeah.
A shot from Corey Walters. I'm not sure what that was about. I'm not sure if that was intentional or just absent-minded. Didn't catch the caution and didn't slow down in time. But we'll check on what that caution was.
Oh, the 40 of Mark Broderick just got caught up in the outside wall there. Spun himself.
And as Jackson Allen said in the comments there, definitely a great battle so far between the number 2 and the 03, and we'll watch what happens here to the number 40. He's trying to, I guess, work the top side. He's got a lot of damage to the right side. And actually, this was after the caution. We'll go back and see what happens. That was well after the caution, actually. So we'll see what happens with the number 40 this time of Mark Broderick. Comes out of turn 2, gets the wall going towards turn 3, and yeah, just catches that front end and pivots him right around. And that's what brought our caution out. No one hits him. He doesn't hit anything other than the wall once or twice, and doesn't really add too much damage to that number 40 car. So he'll carry on with, compared to what he already had, minimal damage, as everyone is able to get by him. Now 43 laps to go.
A lot of pit stops made. It looks like Michael Redding's still going to like to stay out.
And that's kind of the motif for Michael Redding here on these short tracks, is he will run these tires out past, as far as anyone would run them out. Amazingly, he makes it work. He's run 100 laps on a set of tires at Rockingham before and still been competitive. So it's kind of remarkable what Michael Redding is able to do with a set of tires. Tyler McIntosh in the comments asking if I'm still running. Tyler, I think I recognize that name from Xbox, and can tell you I wasn't running from the start, man. But nice to see you out there. But I've ended up broadcasting a lot of these races now. So how you doing though, man? Anyways, Brendan, with I believe about 85 laps in the books, what are you thinking here so far?
Well, it's been an interesting race for certain. Excuse me there. Definitely had some good green flag stints in the mix there. A little bit of controversy, I'd almost say, up front, so it's made an entertaining race to watch for sure.
Well, as these guys get ready for the restart, we've now had 8 cautions through 85 laps, and Those cautions have taken up 40 laps so far, but these guys are getting ready to go green once again. Michael Redding still on point. Do you think anyone can beat him?
I don't know. I think that 10 of Jared Beasley's going to be the one to look out for. If anybody's got a shot, he worked his way through the field there. He got...
Green flag.
Well, I think Derek Buchacki's going to be the one to beat. Quite honestly, you know, he'll obviously have to get up there and go toe-to-toe with Michael Redding. Actually, contact in the back, Terry Mason into the wall on the inside, and that's going to bring the caution out. I'm not sure if that was due to the 03 or not. I don't think it was. I think someone got into him from behind.
I don't know. It didn't look like it. I think they just maybe touched wheels, if that's possible in one of these, but... Yeah, no assistance. It just like snap oversteered in the middle of the corner for Terry Mason there and got into Gluchecki there.
Well, we'll go back and see what happens. Keep in mind, you know, these guys have to deal with the apron down there and all the bumps down along the apron in turns 1 and 2. That's one of the defining features, I'd say, of Myrtle Beach Speedway. So he could have hit one of those. We'll watch this time, the number 75. Keep your eyes on him. He's the one that goes around, so keep your eyes on the Pac-Man car, and we'll see what happens here in turns 1 and 2. Gets down to the inside, and yeah, I think he just got in the brakes too hard, hit the 03 pretty hard, and then ends up spinning into the inside wall. That was actually a pretty big hit to the 03 there from the 75. We'll watch that one more time, this time from Terry Mason's on board. I think you'll find he just gets in the brakes a little bit too hard, Brendan, and that's what ends up getting him so sideways, and that's why he ends up getting into the 03.
Yeah, he tried to correct the spin, or the slide like that, and just the tires finally hooked up, and when he was steering to the right to correct it, just sent him up there. Gluchecki's actually going to come down to the pits and get some service on that vehicle.
That's a good move because he got hit pretty hard on the left side, and you know, it's always a good idea to try and get some damage fixed. So he's in the pit lane currently with 36 laps to go, but Michael Redding still out front, currently has led 70 laps. This time it'll be 71 laps that number 2 has been out front for. And for the most part, since he took the lead under that first caution that we had, where he and Bradley Wilson both stayed out, Michael Redding really has not looked back at all. There was a small point in time where Derek Buchacki was able to get by him for a few laps, and then we saw on the restart he was given the black flag because he came right up to the outside line from the bottom. That's not allowed in this series. It's not allowed in any NMNTS sanctioned races on pavement. There is a lane change rule in effect, so he ended up getting the black flag. Not even the warning, straight to the black flag, and you know it's reasonable because he got such a huge lead over Michael Redding from doing that, so you know it makes sense to do that in my opinion, and he ends up getting the black flag right away, sent to the back, and now he's been having to work his way back up, but he was there, just ended up getting the short end of the stick with that one with Terry Mason.
Yeah, looks like Terry Mason elected to stay out. I don't know if he had a fast repair left. I think he had some earlier damage, but he's definitely a lot of damage on the right side. Got the pace car lights out though, so we're getting ready to go.
And Michael Redding will be leading us to yet another restart, but watch out for that number 48. Matt Urban is back in this battle. I've been talking about him quite a bit tonight. I think Matt Urban is going to have one of the best chances out of the top 5 to try and get up there and beat that number 2 car. They're off and away. Matt Urban with a slow start on the inside there in 3rd place, but he's going to try and get down to the inside of number 10 of Jared Beasley. Off into turn 3, Matt Urban still working on the number 10 car of Jared Beasley, and actually sent him around. Jared Beasley's going to end up saving it, but contact there from the 48 to the 10.
Yeah, the 31 Adam Wooten actually, I think, got into the back of Matt Urban there and helped him out with pushed him into the corner a little too far.
We'll get the instant replay on this, and we'll see exactly what happens here with the number 48 and the number 10. We'll watch as they come down into turn 3 this time. We'll see what exactly happens, and I think Matt was going for the spot, wasn't going to hit him, but I don't think there was contact from behind. I think he just got a little too low on the track, got down onto the grass that's right along the inside wall, and that sent him back up the track and into the number 10. It's nothing intentional, just a mental mistake on the part of Matt Urban right there. And we'll see what happens again. We'll get another replay of this. So watch the 48 on the inside, and actually that's a horrible view. That's not the view we want to see. We'll try for another one. We'll actually go to the 31s on board and see if we can get a look at this. Because, yeah, I don't think that was anything really that Matt Urban did wrong, aside from trying to give Jared Beasley too much room, and he ended up getting the left sides, maybe down into that inside wall, but definitely onto the little bumps of grass, the little weeds down there along that inside wall. And I think that's just what shot him back up, was getting down too far, and that's exactly what happens. He gets down there a little too far, ends up shooting back up the track and into the number 10, but he'll hang on to second place. It's not going to be too bad for him aside from the front end damage. So we'll see exactly how this restart works out for that number 48 of Matt Urban, as there's quite a few guys in the chat cheering him on right now.
Yeah. Then 10 of Jared Beasley there is gonna. He came into the pits and I think he got his faster per. So he's gonna start from the back of the field, see if he can get his way back up there.
And that's a pretty smart move on his part. Looks like these guys have 2 to green. I think we'll let the interviews go for now and maybe try and get another one before the night's over. We'll definitely interview some guys after the race. So if you have any requests, no matter what happens, we'll try and fulfill those interview requests at the end of the race. If you put them out in the chat right now, that way we can make a mental note of them. Or if you have any questions for the drivers, you can ask those as well. And we'll try and ask the drivers before the night's over, before we shut it off. But Michael Redding getting ready once again to lead one of these restarts. And if you haven't already, go ahead and give PSI TV a big thumbs up here on Facebook. We really appreciate it. Or if you're watching the archived version of this stream on YouTube, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps out a lot. Also, leave a rating. It can be 1 star, it can be 5 stars. Just feedback helps. And this time, Michael Redding getting ready to lead another restart here. Matt Urban to his outside. We're waiting for Michael Redding to go ahead and launch, and there he goes back on the loud pedal. Going to get a huge lead this time over Adam Wooten and Matt Urban. Corey Walters went nowhere. The 31, Adam Wooten passes Matt Urban. He's going to get into that second spot. Now he's going to go for the number 2 of Michael Redding. Michael Redding almost went way too high. Definitely went way too high through turns 3 and 4, and that's going to open the door for Adam Wooten. Almost makes contact. There may still have been contact off into 1. We'll have to watch and see exactly what this number 31 does here, because, you know, it's go time pretty much. We're down into the last 30 laps of the race, and, you know, Adam Wooten's got to get on it if he wants to beat Michael Redding. So we'll see if he lays the bumper to Redding at all. He's trying to get that nose down there. Doesn't get it that time, but he might try it off into 3. He's not going to hit him just yet, so we'll see what happens. I thought there might have been contact. It may have just been incidental, but it almost looked like Adam Wooten is really trying to get by this 2 car, and Mark Broderick now has moved up into the 3rd spot.
Oh, like 75 at Terry Mason. It's actually going to blow up. I don't know if they'll be able to pull it into the pits or not.
Oh, and contact on the front straightaway. Sorry to cut you off, Brennan, but there was contact a little bit from the 40 and the 31. It didn't phase Adam Wooten at all as he's back to the inside of the number 2 car. He's trying to make the pass. Michael Redding has been leading a ton of laps here so far tonight. He's stayed on the same tires he started the race on, and we've gone over 100 laps on that set.
Yeah, 75 at Terry Mason.
Contact! Michael Redding is going around. Oh, and he saves it.
Saved it.
But Adam Wooten, Adam Wooten uses the right front to get by a little bit, and Mark Broderick gives Adam Wooten a shot. I think that might have been Mark maybe sticking up for Michael.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. They're gonna race it out here though. Let's see what happens.
Michael Redding was trying to get back to the inside of the 40, ends up slipping up. Now the 40 really trying to get to the outside of the number 31 of Adam Wooten. Mark Broderick really trying to get by Wooten here. Wooten's going to block down into turn 1, though. That's going to open the door on the outside, actually, for Mark Broderick. Looks like Broderick's going to favor the top side as the caution comes out.
11 of Bradley Wilson involved, and I think that's the 48. Yeah, it is the 48 of Matt Urban, excuse me. Bradley Wilson's actually going to blow the motor, so that's going to retire him for the night. That's his second blown motor.
And Matt Urban seems to be one of the fan favorites. These guys were battling up ahead very intensely. We'll see what happens to the number 48. As he was battling, as you mentioned, with Bradley Wilson. We'll see exactly what happens here in just a moment. That number 48 car looking real beat up on the front end. I'm not sure if he still has a fast repair, but if so, he's going to have to use it at this point. Bradley Wilson on Matt Urban's back end. We'll see exactly what happens. I think he may have got the wall.
Looks interesting.
I'm not too sure. We haven't gotten to the wreck just yet.
106 in turn 1.
And yeah, Bradley Wilson just got in way too hard and just cleaned him out.
Yeah, I think the 48 wanted that low line there, and just Bradley Wilson just stuck his nose in there deep enough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was anything intentional, but Bradley Wilson definitely went off into that corner a little too hard and just got right into the 48 and then noses it into the fence. And, you know, for lack of a better term, just cleans the 48 out.
Yeah.
So we'll take a look at this from Bradley Wilson's onboard. We'll get over to him, and we'll switch to the onboard camera aboard the number 11. We'll see what happens from his view as these guys were running 4th and 5th, and yeah, just got to the inside. It may not have actually been Brad's fault. You know, it's hard to say because they were in one of those very odd parts of the track. So, you know, we'll just show this once more. It's actually really hard to say. I'm starting to kind of doubt what I said before. If Brad just getting in there too hard, it may have just been a racing deal.
Yeah, we actually have a new leader here, by the way. Mike Redding did pull into the pits that time. Be the 40 and Mark Broderick.
So I wonder then if the number 31 came into pit. But yeah, Mark Broderick going to be our current leader. And I think we're coming to either 1 or 2 to go before the green. I want to thank everyone for tuning in so far. It's been a great night so far. As far as interviewing Matt Urban, won't be able to until after the race, but we will try. Just since these guys, he's not actually in the team speak where we're interviewing most of these guys, so we'll have to get him after the race, but we'll make sure to try and get him. So that's Matt Urban to add to that list. Want to ask the 31 what was going through his head when he saw the 48 and 10 make contact and get loose in front of him. Will do. And we're getting ready for another restart. This time, Mark Broderick on point, Brennan.
Turn around, or coming through turn 4 here. Ready to go, and Mark Broderick's
He's already on it.
Green flag,
Huge
green
lead.
flag.
Although that's got to be a black flag, though, for the 40. If you ask me, he went right up to the top just like the 03 earlier. Might have to go back and watch it, but that was certainly very, very close to breaking that rule if he didn't. I'd say it's something the Admiral will have to look at.
Yeah, I wonder if she'll get a warning as well. I don't know if Lushecki earlier in the night got a warning or not.
Well, I'd imagine that's something that was probably brought up in the driver's meeting, but so far the 40 is still continuing on. I very well could be wrong, so we won't say that he necessarily 100% by the rule deserves the black flag, but it looked almost like, to me, he got up there a little too high. It's obviously up to the admin of the race to decide, but that's something they at least have to look at.
Car around.
Caution is
It's going to
out.
be the 27, Trevor Harmon, the 21, and the 16 going to be involved. 16 is going to blow the motor.
That number 16 is going to be John Nash, the 27 of Trevor Harmon also involved. And Trevor Harmon still stopped on the back straightaway.
What happened here with him?
Trevor Harmon finally gets rolling again, and we'll take a look back at what happens here.
Got a little assistance from Jared Beasley there.
So we'll watch from the number 27 here as the guys are coming through turns 1 and 2. Looks like Trevor has to check up a little bit. Jared Beasley just gets into turn 2 a little bit too hard and ends up getting the 27 and a huge hit from the 21. Oh man, that sent Trevor Harmon through the air and flying into the outside wall.
taking notice on your scoring here, we have Michael Redding all the way up to 4th after that tiny little green flag stint there.
Yeah, he was able to really make some headway, but watch this from the 27. He just goes absolutely flying, courtesy of the number 21. I think there just wasn't enough time for him to check up. That's going to be Andrew Durham in the number 21. Watch this now from the onboard, actually, of Trevor Harmon, if we can. As he comes down the front straightaway off into turns 1 and 2, we'll watch this from Trevor Harmon's onboard and in slow motion. He's going to get hit here just a moment from Jared Beasley. He's going to go around and just wait for him to get launched skyward in this number 27 car. That's just a huge hit.
Yeah.
The in-car doesn't really do it justice, I think, actually. It kind of glitched out a little bit, but that was a huge hit that Andrew Durham put on the number 27 of Trevor Harmon. So as these guys gear up for another restart, we're going to have about 6 to go when they restart right about. So, you know, it's time to go. If they run a lap even and then have the caution after they complete a lap, I think the next caution would end the race. So that's something they'll have to keep in mind. And, you know, Michael Redding back up there with a couple of guys who have given him bumps earlier on tonight to get him out of the way to try and get the lead. So it'll be something to watch here. We'll check the race summary real quick before we have this probably final restart of the night. 118 laps complete. Mark Broderick is currently your leader. They still have 7 laps to go now as we get the 1 to green signal. There's been 7 lead changes and 12 cautions for 60 laps. Well, Brennan, real quick, who do you think ends up coming out of this restart on top?
I think Broderick's got a really good chance for it. He gets to determine when everybody else goes, so if he can pull away.
He's already on the loud pedal. He's already going like you say there, Brennan. He's off and away. He got a huge lead over Gluchacki already, but Gluchacki down to the bottom side,
Right there with him,
trying to make something happen. And yeah, they're wrecking. I mean, no other way to put that. Mark Broderick wrecked in turn 2, and they're still wrecking. They're still wrecking.
Beasley's getting ready to go around. Big wreck. Beasley around into Corey Walters. The 91 going to get involved. 48 of Matt Urban, I think, is going to be your leader here. Big wreck. Holy cow.
And I really think that's going to end the race, honestly. Matt Urban going to be... No, they're going to give the lead to Adam Wooten, but he's blown up.
He's blowing up. Let's see if he can make it around.
So it's going to be a matter of if that motor lasts long enough. The admins, being that this is the very end of the race, will clear that to see if they restart or not. I think they may have a chance at restarting, actually. So that'll be interesting to see with the number 31 having that blown motor. We'll go back, get a replay of this wreck. I mean, that was a crazy bit.
Started with Broderick there.
I mean, yeah, that was just crazy right there.
That cleaned house there. Holy cow.
So we'll see Gluchacki try and get down to the bottom of the number 40. Just gets right into Mark Broderick, right into those left rear, sends him around. There's contact there with the 03 and the 31. Adam Wooten still driving the 03 to the wall. Then Mike Bruno gets collected. There's a wreck further forward, and somehow they're going to give the lead to Adam Wooten. He must have been the leader when the caution was determined to come out by iRacing. There was another wreck further forward with the number 10 of Jared Beasley. We'll check in on that. But yeah, you'll see again here, Mike Bruno trying to go by these guys as Adam Wooten was just driving the 03 to the wall. Mike Bruno gets cleaned out, then the 10 trying to avoid them gets into the 2. It completely incidental, then the 10's going to overcorrect back into the 28, Corey Walters, and the 91. I'll tell you what, the 91 might have been able to get the race win if he just missed the 10, but
yeah.
Ended up getting into him. Just had nowhere to go as the number 10 was spinning, but Mark Broderick going to move on with little to no damage. So, you know, if we see another restart, he's going to be a guy to watch out for.
Definitely.
And Michael Redding got spun around, didn't really get hit after that, but Derek Gluchacki probably done for the night. Gluchacki, that. Probably done for the night. Looks like he will be retired from the event. But Adam Wooten, we'll have to wait and see if we get the 1 to go signal. We don't there, so that's going to be the race.
As long as he can make it around.
Yeah, as long as the number 31's motor lasts the next 2 laps under caution, Adam Wooten will be your winner for the second time in a row here on TSI TV in the TN Design Super Series division of the NMNTS Racing Series. Last time it was at South Boston, and I picked him at the top of the show there, Brennan, and he's gonna, as long as this motor holds out, he's gonna end up taking it in crazy, crazy fashion.
Yeah, and coming up to the line, and he's definitely rolling enough to get across. Adam Wooten's going to be your winner here tonight, folks. Matt Urban in second. Looks like he definitely would have had a chance there in the restart of becoming your winner.
So as long as that motor holds out to get him back to the line, looks like Adam Wooten is going to be your winner.
I called that a lap early, my fault there.
Yeah, we still got to pace through 2 more corners here. Matt Urban will end up finishing second with Mike Bruno in third. Brendan, real quick, if you can hop up into the chat.
Oh, he disconnected. Or he's not.
Really?
Matt Urban is currently in P1. As he crosses the line, I do not see Adam Wooten on the track anymore. Yep, Matt Urban's going to be scored as your winner.
Wow.
Yeah, he just, out of nowhere in turn 4, just, I don't know if he got a penalty served or something, but he...
you know what may have happened?
He may have got a black for the meatball.
He may have gotten the black flag for the damage. That's why he was smoking. And iRacing gives drivers with too much damage a black flag, and I think it finally disqualified Adam Wooten in turn 3 of the last lap. So Matt Urban going to burn it down here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Matt Urban, your winner tonight. And wow, that's really painful to watch for Adam Wooten to be so close. In turn 3, gets disqualified. Normally those black flags get cleared. I'm not sure why that one wasn't.
It was cleared. Michael Redding came through and cleared it, but I think it was just too late.
Wow, yeah, that's insane then.
I think he cleared it after he got disqualified for it.
Okay, so Derek Luchacki out in the chat. Real quick, if you're still there, can you just make sure we're saying that right? I've been saying Luchacki all night, so if that's wrong, go ahead and say so. Hopefully it was right, but we're going to try and organize some interviews here. Brennan, if you can make sure that the 48 stays in the race session, that'd be great.
Yeah, sure.
And actually the 91 as well is still there. So Brendan, let me know when you're done transmitting on the all teams and I'll kick it up.
Hey Matt Urban, this is Brendan up in the PSI booth. We could have you hold off here for a second and we'd like to get an interview with you.
The 91 as well. Make sure the 91 stays.
What was the 91 if possible?
Unfortunately, I know someone was asking for an interview with the 31. It doesn't look like we'll be able to interview him as he looks like was disconnected from the session entirely, so we'll key up here and try and get the 91. Cole Thomas, this is Andrew Cardinale in the PSI TV booth. Do you have a copy?
What was that on the track? I don't know.
He's still on the track. Did I come across?
Yeah, it came through. Yep.
Cole Thomas, this is Andrew Cardinale in the PSI TV booth. Do you have a copy there, bud? One more time, Cole Thomas, do you have a copy? Alright, so we don't have Cole Thomas on hand. We're going to then bring up 4th place finishing Mark Broderick. As long as there's enough time. Is there enough time on the session to do this, Brennan?
We have 4 minutes.
Alright, then we're going to hold off
remaining
on
time,
that.
excuse me. Otherwise, we have almost 2 hours left.
Alright,
plenty of time.
So we'll bring up Mark Broderick. We'll also get Mike Bruno, as he was our 2nd place finisher. Mark Broderick, this is Andrew Cardinale in the PSI TV booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Mark, you drove a heck of a race out there tonight, ended up finishing 4th, and just walk us through that last little bit that, we saw you ended up pretty much getting dumped. Just give us your thoughts.
I mean, that's pretty much what happened. Just go into the turn, run a clean race, and then just get taken out by somebody. So I wish we had another restart to even the score a little bit, but it is what it is.
Well, man, kind of a dismal finish for you, but you certainly ran a great race to get up there in the first place. So, congrats on just running a pretty good race, ending up 4th place. Is there anything you think you could have done differently?
Uh, Probably would have wrecked him earlier in the race if I knew he was going to do that. So I could have done that differently.
All right. Well, real quick before we let you go, who makes it happen for you in that number 40 crew?
Oakley sunglasses and Tide products. We use Tide on all of our Oakley sunglasses to keep them. I just want to thank Tide for keeping my Oakley sunglasses clean at 1000.com.
All right. Well, we'll let you go tonight, Mark. Great run there. Hope to talk to you more in the future.
All right. Thank you, Andrew.
And I moved the wrong person. I'm on top of things. All right, real quick, Brennan. I'll let you bring Mike Bruno in. I can't talk right now.
Okay. There we go. Alrighty, Mark Bruno. This is Brennan up in the PSI booth. You got a copy with us?
10-4, Brendan. I got you, bud.
Alright, so we're gonna get a 2nd place finish for you tonight. Explain what was going on there towards the end, when your mindset.
Well, my mindset's always trying to get the win, obviously. But I knew the 03 was fast. I know Mark's fast, and Michael has been fast all night. We had a bunch of fast guys up there, so I was kind of hoping I could have a little bit of luck go my way and maybe have them guys get loose. I didn't want to see him wreck like that. And as soon as I saw him get together, I saw him kind of sideways up in the wall and thought I had it cleared and was just going to go straight underneath him and get by him, but I got destroyed and somehow still able to make it to the line second, but it was definitely an exciting race and an exciting finish.
Yeah, definitely. Well, give you a quick chance here if you want to mention any sponsors, anybody out there you're watching for you, you'd like to say thanks to, or.
Yeah, for sure. I want to thank my sponsor, SimSpec, as always. Ken at the Ounce, John Barron, those guys are awesome. I want to thank my team, MR Motorsports, actually Evil Outlaws now, Mike Redding, all them guys, man, are the best group of guys you can run with, man. They make me better every week. And thank you guys for what you're doing tonight, man. We really appreciate it.
Alrighty, I'll get you moved back up here and we'll continue on with these interviews.
Thanks, bud.
And now we're going to go ahead and try and key up the number 48 if he's still here. Matt Urban, this is Andrew Cardinale in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I think we may have had an issue mentioned in the comments there on the iRacing. Oh, he's got you. Okay.
Well, Matt, first off, congrats on that win. You had to do some fancy footwork, I guess, to try and hang on to it. And, we saw Adalbooten. I'm not sure exactly what happened to him. Maybe got disqualified because of his damage. But nonetheless, you did what you had to do to get yourself in that position, albeit what the circumstances are. So just what was going through your mind there at the end? Well, Matt, you certainly did a great job hanging on to try and get that win. And, end of the night, be it what it was, you go from pretty much 8th place on that last restart up into 2nd. And then I'm not sure what happens to the 31, but you end up getting the win out of it. So, congrats on the win. You had a lot of guys out in the chat rooting for you. Looks like, let's see, who do we got? We've got guys like Brady Held and Destiny Krieger. You got all kinds of fans out there. So, great job there.
Oh yeah, thanks. Those are all those people Brady actually raced against in real life, and Destiny's a big fan of the racetrack, and a few other people that were watching I race against or rooting along. My girlfriend's also watching too at work.
Well, Matt, I forgot how to key up. Well, Matt, you drove a great race all night. Once more, congrats on that win, and who do you got to thank out there for that win tonight?
Mainly just got to give a thanks to shout out to Nate Anderson. He actually gives me a computer to play iRacing since I can't afford one at the moment with my real car.
All right, well, we'll let you go, man. It was great having you out here tonight. Once more, congratulations on the win, and hopefully we see more of you in the future.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'd definitely like to be back to the fun series. It was a fun night.
For sure. Well, hopefully you join the league, get with these guys. You do have a great race. Try and get in the league for 2018. And that's going to be it for the night, guys. And thanks for tuning in if you did. And huge props to everyone that ran. Great show all night long. We saw some drama go on with the number 2 and some other cars hitting him. It was just short track racing, though, like Michael Redding said. And actually, if he's in the chat, we can try and key him up. So, Michael Redding, real quick before we shut this show down for the night, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, Michael, we watched you drive one heck of a race all night long, staying out on those tires for way too long. Well, that's kind of your motif here on short tracks. So, just what were you trying to do when it came down to it, and what's your opinion of what happened there with the number 31?
I'm not real sure. I'd seen that Mark got turned up there, and I seen a hole and shot through it, but it wasn't really going to matter to me because once that wreck happened, I was running out of fuel. I forgot to put fuel in it when I made that pit stop there, but I think we were still the fastest car, no doubt about it. But I don't know. We let one get away from us tonight.
Well, Michael, you drove one heck of a race. You can't deny that. You ended up leading 84 of 125 laps, so you can't go home too disappointed with that kind of a performance. So looks like you're going to end up finishing in 5th place. Still top 5, so that's still a heck of a run there, especially with the level of competition in the NMNTS. So we'll be looking forward to 2018 with you. And who do you got to thank for the 5th place finish tonight?
I just thank my guys keeping me calm early on that early incident, but other than that, that's about it. We look forward to 2018 and getting a whole bunch of wins.
All right, well, we'll catch up with you later, man. It was great having you out here tonight. Hopefully you're around for the next 2 nights, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, buddy. I'll have a good one.
And that was Michael Redding. Considering he was out front for so much, and he got pretty much moved out of the way by the 31, wanted to make sure. Sorry. Oh, it was Cole Thomas saying he didn't hear us. Anyway, so what was I saying? Michael Redding was out there for so long tonight, Brennan, and he pretty much got hit by the 31. It wasn't really anything malicious or anything like that. It was just short track racing. Ended up with some beating and banging, and I think it was a great show overall. There were some wrecks. There was some aggressive driving, not drying, but aggressive driving. But just overall, I don't know how you can be disappointed with that kind of a race there, Brendan.
Yeah, that's definitely that's what keeps you on your toes there at the end. And it's very exciting to watch. Obviously, watching cars wreck. I think that's how NASCAR gets a lot of its viewership. But definitely, it's a fun race. We stayed a lot more green flags than we did with Wednesday night's race. So it's a step in the right direction. Obviously, we're moving over to an actual league race this time. Still open to everyone, but more rules to follow here. So looks like that definitely helped out tonight.
Yeah, and I want to mention real quick, since you mentioned, we had a lot more green flag racing, we still had 14 cautions for 64 laps, and, that's a lot, but it didn't really feel like it. It didn't feel like it was this totally caution-filled race. It felt like there was a lot of racing all night long. Out of 125 laps, we still had about half of that under caution, but there were still some long green runs. There were some cautions that came out right on top of a restart, so that's why so many laps to run under caution. But there were 8 lead changes, a lot more parity than on Wednesday night as well as Thursday night. So a step in the right direction for sure in the TN Design Super Series for 2018, and I think it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah, definitely.
And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to conclude our coverage here at PSI TV of tonight's TN Design Super Series race from Myrtle Beach Speedway. Thank you for tuning in. It was one heck of a show. Thank you to all the drivers out there for making the NMNTS what it is and making these broadcasts what they are. So it was definitely a great show out there tonight. We'll go through your results real quick. Matt Urban will end up being your winner with Mike Bruno in second place, Cole Thomas in third, Michael Redding fourth, Corey Walters in fifth, Mark Broderick, in sixth, Adam Woot in seventh, Jared Beasley in eighth, Derek Gluchacki ends up falling to ninth, and Andrew Durham in 10th.
Excuse me, sorry. Trevor Harmon's going to finish 11th, followed by John Dash in 12th. Bradley Wilson's going to finish 13th. Terry Mason at 14th. Mark Johnson 15th. Levi Poland in 16th. Brian Botlemy in 17th, followed by Kenneth Yance in 18th. 19th is going to go to Aiden Young, followed by 20th for Stephen McGow. 21st, they have Gabe Summers. And 22nd, Clayton Kurtz. Looks like he didn't actually make a start.
So yeah, Gabe Summers will end up being your last place car that actually made the show. There were a few guys that showed up but didn't actually race, like Jake Watson, Caden Lapsovich, Devin Morgan, Elaine Goodrow, and countless others. Really, hopefully they come back in the future to try and run some laps with the NMNTS TN Design Super Series, because it will be a top-of-the-line Super Late Model Series for 2018. It's going to be a lot of fun going to all kinds of short tracks all across the nation. I don't know what you can say. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and thankfully I have the honor of putting it on my my broadcasting channel here at PSI TV. So thank you, Brendan, for helping me out as usual. Thanks to our sponsors, GoPro Motorplex, David Levine Racing, Glenn Richards Design, Race Agent, TN Designs, Pit Stop Insider, of course, NMNTS, All-Star Sim Racing, the Dirt Racing Challenge Series, Scott Brotherton Images, all of our Mobile Fleet Repair, just the countless supporters of the PSI TV group here, as it's starting to become almost, and all of our streams. It's really, really humbling to have this kind of support like we do. So just once more, thanks to everyone who supports PSI TV. And excuse me, if you're a league owner out there on iRacing, or if you're holding a special event and you want to contact PSI TV about getting us to broadcast your event, you can do so here at our Facebook page, or you can email me directly at andrewciv71@gmail.com. Right now for the rest of 2017, we're going to be running one race prices at $5 a piece if you get multiple races through December 31st, and after that we'll be going up to $10. We started out with pretty much bottom of the line equipment at PSI TV, so we're going to go up as we're growing kind of into our shoes, but you can still get races at a great price here, and I'd like to think we do a pretty good job here, Brennan. You definitely help out a ton, as well as Sam Collins, Zach Linger, and Terry Mason, everyone who helps out on almost a weekly basis here at PSI TV. So with that said, you can contact us for race reservations at andrewciv71@gmail.com or here on Facebook, and that's going to do it for our coverage here from Myrtle Beach Speedway.